Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your friendly Amsoil dealer. My name is Brian, and I'm with Peter Synthetics, where we go deep. Here's another, I guess maybe I could do some of these daily updates. They won't be every day, and they won't be posted at the same time. You just catch them when you can. Please like, subscribe if you have a chance. If you like talking about motor oil, if you like talking about ATF fluid, rear end fluid, gear lube. If you like talking about, and other things that, not just those things, life in general, we could talk about some of that. There's a lot of things going on right now in the world that I'm not a fan of. And I'm not going to get super political because it's not the goal of this channel. If I want to make a political channel, I'll make a political channel and start a YouTube channel or do it on Facebook, go Facebook Live or something like that. So that's not what's going on. I don't really like what's going on in the world right now. High gas prices, inflation, rising interest rates. It's feeling like 1983. Of course, I wasn't alive back then. To be as an adult, I was alive. I was like 4. So I was alive and I was a kid, so I wasn't an adult. But so it feels like 1983, 1982 again, where things are just going out of sight, things are just going up. There's nowhere in sight, no end in sight for this stuff. So say a prayer for our nation, think a positive thought, take some action, do all those things, and just keep your fingers crossed and eyes peeled for what's going on. Yesterday we talked about motor oil. We talked about synthetic, Signature Series. We talked about the XL, the boosted. We talked about the OE, and just to give you an idea, the OE line of Amsoil fluid or motor oil will let you run the OEM specifications. So if your user manual says you can go 5,000 miles or 8,000 or 7,000 or whatever it says on a single oil change, then that's what you run this oil with. Boosted, our XL boosted product, allows you to go 12,000 miles. A lot of people run that. A lot more people than you think. A lot of people don't care. They just go to the local Jiffy Lube and that's it, and they're not worried about it. As long as they do it every 3,000 miles, or when the little thing down there beeps and says change me, then they go and do it. That's not the way I want to live my life. I don't want to live my life depending on a computer or a big oil company or a car company telling me what to do. So, our Signature Series allows you to go 25,000 miles on a single oil change. Now that's true. Back in the day, they used to tell everybody that you could go 35,000 with the Signature Series oil, the super premium oil that is Amsoil. They backed off of that and they went to 25 simply, in my opinion, I'm not sure the exact reason, but in my opinion, it's simply because no one would believe them. No one would believe them. I really don't think that anyone would believe them. And so that's why they went down to 25. And we're warranty secure. The Moss-Magnuson Act, if you've never heard of that, basically it's the Moss-Magnuson Act is a law put into place that when it applies to motor oil, basically it says that a manufacturer or a dealership cannot force you to buy an oil change from them or force you to use it, or their warranty will be valid. There we go. So if you have a warranty with with your car or what have you, and they say you must use our oil, you must change your oil at our establishment, you must use our oil and filter, or your warranty will be invalid or forfeited or whatever you want to call it, then that's against the law. And you can actually give them that the Moss-Magnuson Act in writing, and they need to produce what they just told you in writing, So if they cannot produce it in writing when they tell you that, it's not true. Because they cannot produce it in writing because it's just simply does not exist. This applies to anything that you buy at a dealership that's brand new and contains a warranty. Consult an attorney for all the legal ramifications. Okay, so I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice, just trying to tell you kind of what a layman would have to say about it. Because when in legalese, I am a layman. That's all I can do. Is all I can say. I'm sitting here driving, and I've got to stop because I don't want to get hit by anybody. Okay, sorry for the pause. Just want to make sure I live. All right. So, where was I? Okay, so Moss magnets, if they cannot produce it in writing, it doesn't exist. It's not true. That goes for lawnmowers, anything of that nature. Now, here's where it does apply. If the dealership gives you the oil in the filter, and that's part of the warranty, then it is valid. Then they can cancel the warranty if they're giving you the oil in the filter and they're changing it for free. Okay? So that's where that applies. Now, moving on, I wanted to talk about ATF fluid today. Okay, so ATF fluid. What is ATF fluid? Well, it stands for automatic transmission fluid. And what it does is it allows a transmission to operate. So without getting too crazily technical, because I don't really know the super duper technical end of it, without getting too crazy technical, basically a transmission, what is the root word of a transmission? It transfers, transmits, transmission. Okay, so it needs to transfer the energy from the engine, okay, to the wheels. Okay, how does it do that? Well, inside there are these there's these clutch plates, and there's it just depends on which transmission you have. There's 5, 10, 15. There might be 4, there might be 8. I'm not a transmission guy, so don't sit there and go, oh, that guy's an idiot because he doesn't know he knows what he's talking about. I don't know how many clutch plates there are in a transmission. And it just depends on the type, how many, etc. Okay, the way that the engineer built it. Okay. So there's clutch plates, and those clutch plates, when they're compressed by the transmission fluid, when you push the gas, okay, the transmission has a torque converter, and the torque converter takes that energy and steps it down, or steps it up. I believe it steps it down, converts the energy, and then it turns, and then in turn it transfers to these clutch plates, and the clutch plates compress and they lock in, and then you're going. Okay, then you're transferring the energy to the drive shaft and then to the axle. Well, in the world of fluids and motors and things of that nature, ATF fluid is the most complicated fluid oil lubricant that's currently made for automobiles, cars, trucks in the world, because it's got to be a lubricant. It has to lubricate parts inside the transmission. It has to be a coolant. Not everybody knows about that. So it has to be a coolant. So it has to actually cool the parts so that it transfers the heat to the metal casing. Keeping your transmission clean, free of dirt and debris, is a good idea. So when you run it through a car wash, you get those undercarriage washes. If everything's good under there, using the undercarriage wash is a good idea. Getting all that and do it often if you can manage it. Okay, so it has to act as a coolant, and I covered that. So the heat has to transfer to the aluminum casing, and thereby out of it. And also the heat will go to a transmission cooler. It will go to the radiator in the front, and it'll send the heat out that way. Okay, and that's another way that it dissipates the heat. But it has to be a coolant as well, because that's what happens. Okay. All right. It has to be kind of a friction modifier as well. So we have to add friction modifiers to it. So it's a very, very complicated fluid, and it's not that easy to make, and to find a balance for it is amazing. And what Amsoil's done with their ATF fluid, we've got a multi-vehicle fluid, and we've also got a fuel efficient transmission fluid, which we used to call low viscosity, but it's for newer vehicles, and it's designed for newer transmissions. All right, so Amsoil's done a great job. It's basically made the same material as our motor oil as far as the molecules of it, the base oil. We use a molecule, without getting too technical. It is a little technical, but I like to tell people the truth and what's really going on. And we have a thing called a polyalpha olefin. And what it does is, I got people in front of me. There's polyalpha olefins, and what they do is they're basically a uniform molecule, okay, that operates in this transmission fluid, and it is uniform in shape. There's millions of them in the fluid, okay, and they're all uniform in shape, and they actually work together better, and they're actually rated Mercon, all the, for Ford, AC Delco ratings, all the ratings for Chevrolet. You just got to make sure when you do it, talk to someone like me, and we will make sure that whichever fluid you get matches the vehicle that you're wanting to do the service on. A positive report, which I will be posting a video of the transmission flush, because I haven't had time to even edit it. But basically, we flushed the transmission in my wife's 2004 Lincoln Aviator. We cleaned the pan, we dropped the pan, drained the ATF fluid out, and we dropped the filter, put a new filter in there. And by the way, someone put extra, what do you call it? Gasket, or they're like bushings that go around the pickup tubes that go up into the valve body of the transmission, and there was like 3 of them in there. So there was 2, and there was 1 actually still kind of hanging on to the old filter, and then there was 2 up in the pickup tube. So it's a good thing that we did that, or it might have burned up the trans. So we put a new transmission filter in there properly. We made sure there was no other rubber bushings in there or what have you, and we torqued everything, got everything back on there, pumped it full of Amsoil multi-vehicle ATF fluid. Notice we didn't say universal, because our fluid is not universal. There's no such thing as a universal fluid. It doesn't exist. It cannot happen. It's impossible. Anything that says universal transmission fluid is a lie. It just does not exist. You need to check with your manufacturer if you can't get your hands on any Amsoil. If you can't get Amsoil in the United States, you got a problem. you need to go somewhere and get some. Go to a dealer like me. I mean, I can be your dealer. I can be your dealer very easily. Just give me a call. My number's found everywhere. Okay, and I can become your dealer. I can be anywhere. It does not matter. I'm a phone call or a text away, an email away. And we can ship from one of our many distribution centers all over the United States. So it makes shipping very, very quick. Usually, I've never seen anyone say that they didn't get their shipment in 2 days. The whole time I've been a dealer, about a year. It's about to be my anniversary, to be a dealer, about a year. Love the product. If I could do it for free, I would. That's one of the good things about being a dealer is, if you're really passionate about what you do. I'm a fish in water with this stuff. I mean, if I could just do it for free, I would. If I could just give the oil away to people, I would, because I just believe in it that much. I mean, it's like a gospel almost. let's put it this way. I'm not putting it on the same level as the gospel, okay? It's just within the world of automobiles, it is. It's as far as liquids and fluidity and lubrication within a vehicle, it really is the gospel, on the level of gospel in the automotive world. Let's put that way, okay? No one can touch the king, and we are the king. There's other lubricants that do a great job, you know. Motorcraft does a great job. AC Delco does a great job. You know, Mobil 1 does a great job. Castrol does a great job. You know, and there's a few other notable ones. So you know, they're great products. I mean, but ours is the king. We are the, you know, a touch above, a step above. We are what the other oil companies, as far as motor oil, strive to be. No one can match us. Now, there's a few things that they beat us on, like cold pour. Castrol's got us, you know, at like negative 58 degrees or something along those lines. Don't quote me on that, but it's even did a cold pour test on his channel, Synthetic Oil Protection, if you want to check that out. He did a cold pour test. I kind of want to wrap this up, but basically, let's kind of wrap up the ATF fluid. ATF fluid, the best fluid you can get is Amsoil, as long as we have a rating for your vehicle and it pertains, we have a spec written for it. I don't have a problem selling you that any day, anytime, to take care of any issues with the transmission. You know, I mean, my wife's Aviator was flaring the gears. It was just flaring the gears. We were having a hard time with it. We couldn't figure it out. So we did all that. We dropped the pan, put the ATF fluid in there, took it down the road, and she shifts like a dream. That is 100% the truth. It actually saved me $2,000, $2,500 to get the transmission rebuilt. Now, my guy in town that I refer everybody to for rebuilds doesn't like me. I mean, he does, but he doesn't, because he always says, man, you tell those people to use that Amsoil ATF, man, you know, I don't get as much business. No, he doesn't say that. No. Watson Transmission, Valdosta, Georgia, does a great job. No, it's nothing like that. He doesn't say that. He wants people to use Amsoil and take care of their transmissions. When you do have a problem, though, contact him and he will help you. He's actually in Remerton section of Valdosta. Remerton's a city within Valdosta. He does a great job. Shout out to Matthews Automotive in Valdosta, one of our customers. Does a great job. Took care of our air conditioner when it broke down the other day. So again, ADD brain here. Going back to the ATF fluid, it's a great fluid, and I suggest, if you don't have it in your car, your truck, SUV, your long haul truck, I would totally 100%, without a doubt, do a transmission flush today. Pay the $300, whatever it is, to get it done, as far as the labor. Or do it yourself if you're savvy. Use Amsoil ATF. Give us a call, 229-561-4426. OrderOil24.com is the number, or the website. Catch us there. Catch me on the telephone. You can come by if you're in the Lowndes County, Valdosta, Georgia area, metropolitan areas, multi-county area. Just give me a call. Come by the shop, and we will get you hooked up with some oil. We've got hydraulic fluid. We've got motorcycle fluid. We've got brake cleaner. Just trying to cover everything. We've got our own filters. We've got even some of our filters that we don't cover some vehicles with. We have Wix filters for those. We've got your whole setup. So get your oil change with us today. And again, if you have any questions, give us a call, 229-561-4426. And again, my name is Brian, and I'm with Peter Synthetics, OrderOil24.com, where we go deep, baby. Have a good day.